Welcome to this demonstration video of NoiseAtWork. The left hand side you see the project bars. The project info, drawing, workspaces, measurements, noise prediction, contours, noise dose. Note that the noise prediction bar is only available when you have the noise prediction add-on. The noise dose bar is only available when you have the noise dose add-on. All the other bars are available in all four types of NoiseAtWork: Type A, Type B, Type C and Type D. First I'm going to select a drawing. NoiseAtWork supports three types of drawing: AutoCAD files, image files and PDF files. In this case I'm going to select an AutoCAD file, training.dwg. Once selected, it's shown at the right hand side. With your scroll wheel you can zoom in and you can zoom out. By clicking and holding your scroll wheel you can move your model from the left to the right, etc. So by using your scroll wheel of your mouse you can easily go through your model. Next we're going to enter a workspace. But before I'm going to enter a workspace, I'm going to activate the snap to background option. Especially with CAD files, this is an easy option that makes entering a workspace easier. I click on the new button, then my mouse changes in the crosshair. Because I've activated the snapping option, you see that when I move my mouse close to the background file, you see a little circle. That means you are within snapping options. If you then make a click, then NoiseAtWork takes exactly that coordinate as the first point of your workspace, etc. So this makes the entering of a workspace easy. Double click is for entering your last position of your workspace. So now I've entered my first workspace, an indoor area. I do the same for the outdoor area. Double click closes your polygon area. So now I've entered two areas, an indoor area and an outdoor area. Next I'm going to enter the measurements. I'm going to set a label, the measurement number. Again I click on the new button and I'm going to enter the measurement positions while looking at the drawing. So I enter the locations where I've done my measurements while looking at the drawing. And you don't need to bother about coordinates because NoiseAtWork takes the coordinates automatically from the CAD background file. Let's say 5 measurement positions inside and 4 outside. In total 9 measurement positions. I disable the entering of measurement positions with my right mouse button. So now the crosshair is gone. You see that there are now 9 lines, 9 rows in my measurement table. Next I can enter the measured sound pressure level on each measurement position. I'm going to enter random numbers here. Let's say 84, 85, 86, 89, 85, let's say outside a little bit lower, 80, still a little bit high to see some colors, 81. You see that while entering the measured levels, NoiseAtWork automatically interpolates your measurements and shows the interpolated contours. Instead of entering these levels manually, you can also copy and paste them from Excel. Of course, the order of your measurements must be in the same order as you have entered your measurement positions. But let's select this row of these measurements. I select them, I say Ctrl C, I switch back to NoiseAtWork, I click on my first position, I say Ctrl V, and then automatically my contours are updated. So this is how easy it is to take measurements from Excel and put it in your measurement table in NoiseAtWork. The colors are based on the settings in the Contour tab page. I click on the Contours tab page and here you see your color settings. You can change these color settings. These are the default color settings for sound pressure level. But of course you can also change it to 3 classes if you want. For instance 0 to 85 green, 85 to 90 yellow and over 90 red, for instance. You can add, insert and delete color classes And this settings you can also save and reuse later in another NoiseAtWork project by loading it again. A NoiseAtWork project can contain up to 10 different indicators. In this case, we've only used one indicator, SPL, Occupational Noise Level in dBA. By going to the Indicator menu, you can add other indicators. This means that on every measurement point, you can enter up to 10 different measured levels. These could be sound pressure levels, but these could also be temperatures, humidity, draft, any other type of indicator that you can measure. Let's add one indicator, a second one. Here you can simply type in the name, the description, the unit and the number of decimals you would like to present the measured value for this indicator. There's a list of presets in NoiseAtWork. Let's select the temperature. That makes it easier if you want to reuse this temperature. So now I've got two indicators, SPL and T for temperature. You can switch between the two by using this selection option. In this case the SPL, but I can also now select the temperature. Then you see that automatically also the color classes are changed, because in the presets of NoiseAtWork, the temperature automatically links to a different color setting file. So I can now switch between sound pressure level and temperature. You see that 0 till 18 degrees Celsius is dark blue, between 21 and 25 it's white. This is a color setting based and used in the Netherlands, where it's assumed that between 21 and 25 degrees in an office environment, this is a good temperature. If it's higher than 25, it's considered to be too high. If it's lower than 21, it's considered to be too low. So now let's go back to the measurement table. You see also that automatically a second column is added. So this is linked to the indicator. So if you add or disable indicators, automatically your columns are added or are disabled. Okay, let's go to the temperature. Let's say on measurement position 1, it was 19 degrees. Well, we just saw that that's quite cold. Then we go up to 21, that's okay. 22, that's good temperature. 23 and 20. Then outside might be even hot. Let me say 30, but I want to see some nice contours, so I go down to 27 and finally to 25. So now you can toggle between the sound pressure level, the measured sound pressure levels on the measurement positions, and the temperature. So this is an easy way of using NoiseAtWork not only for noise, but also for other types of indicators. Okay. Now let's go back to noise. Specifically for noise, NoiseAtWork has two add-ons, the Noise Prediction add-on and the Noise Dose add-on. Let's first show the Noise Dose add-on. With the Noise Dose add-on, you can enter employees in the workspaces. You click on the button New, and then you can enter locations where this employee is working. So you enter in fact a polyline. So this employee is working close to the drilling machine, close to the compressor, the welding machine, and also outside. 4 locations. Then automatically this employee is created here in the employee table, and when you select this employee, you can enter the working hours per location. Let's say this employee is working 2 hours on every location. So we enter 2 hours on all 4 locations, giving a total working time of 8 hours. Then NoiseAtWork calculates the noise dose based on the criterion level between 80 and 90 and the exchange rate 3, 4 or 5. So this is my first employee. I can also enter another employee that's mainly working at the bridge, the test unit, and also outside. So this is a second employee. Also this employee, I can give 3 hours on this location, 3 hours on location number 2, and 2 hours on the third location, giving a total of 8 hours. You see that the first employee has a noise dose of 122%, and the second employee has a noise dose of 157%, because of course he's working here close to the test unit, and that's a high level area. That's the noise dose add-on. Now let's show the noise prediction add-on. With the noise prediction add-on, you can enter point sources in the workspaces, point sources with a sound power level. And then NoiseAtWork will calculate the sound pressure levels in the workspaces. But before you do so, you need to calibrate your model, because you see that NoiseAtWork now thinks that this is 10,000 meters, because NoiseAtWork takes the coordinates from the CAD background file. That's not a problem if you're only doing interpolated contours based on measurements or calculating the noise dose with the noise dose option. However, for noise prediction, your model needs to be in meters. So I go to the Drawing tab page, I click on the Calibration option. NoiseAtWork tells me that I have to input a line of known length, and this line will be used as a reference to adjust the scale. So this is a very easy way of calibrating your model. Click on OK, and then you click on two positions. One, let's say that and the second, for instance, the length of this workspace. And let's simply assume that this workspace is 20 meters. So you need to know the length of this line that you have just put in. 20 meters. OK. NoiseAtWork asks for a confirmation. Do you want to apply this new scale? Yes. Well, basically you see nothing has changed because the whole interpolation is the same. However, below on the scale bar you see that this is now nicely set to 10 meters. Next to setting the scale, we also need to set some other properties of the workspaces, like the height and the average absorption factor of walls, floor and ceiling. These two properties are only needed for noise prediction, so they're not needed for the normal interpolation of contours and for the noise dose, only for noise prediction. And now you can enter your point sources. So you click on the button New. Let's say that in the future a new source is coming over here. And now you need to know the sound power level. Let's say that the sound power level of this new source is 95 dBA. Then I can switch in the Contour tab page between the interpolated noise contours based on measurements or the interpolated noise contours based on sources. So now NoiseAtWork calculates the sound pressure levels in the workspace. Also, you can, for instance, position a second source. So I click on this source, I use the right mouse button, copy, and then I say a paste, and then there's a second, let's say over here or in this corner. So now I've got two point sources entered in the workspace. And by toggling between showing the noise contours based on measurements and the noise contours based on sources, I can show the interpolated noise contours. But what if these two sources are supposed to be there in the future? That means that you know your measurements in the actual situation, you know the noise of the two new sources, and now you can also use the cumulated viewing of the noise contours. So now NoiseAtWork cumulates the measured noise contours in the actual situation and the predicted noise contours of the two known new sources. And not only in the noise contours, but also in the noise dose you see the difference. So this is in the future. You see, of course, that the noise dose will be increased due to these two sources. Now let's go back to the basic functionality. The measurements. So these are the interpolated contours based on the measured levels. I'm going to deselect the employees, and I'm going to deselect the point sources. So this is the basic functionality of NoiseAtWork. I want to close my demonstration by showing you some copy and paste functionality and then using the views option. I zoom out, and let's assume that I also want to enter the measured levels on higher floors. So let's say this is the ground floor, but this building also has a first floor and a second floor, etc. Then you can simply copy and paste existing workspaces and also existing measurement positions and drag it to another location in your work area or in your project area. So I'm now going to select by simply opening a window. I'm selecting all the items within this window. And that means that I've selected the measurement positions and my workspace. Now I'm going to use the right mouse button, the right mouse menu, and selecting copy. Next, I'm going to use the right mouse button again, and then selecting paste. Then my selected items are pasted a little bit below the first selected items. And now I can click and drag this selection to the right. Then NoiseAtWork asks me to confirm. Yes. So I simply now made a copy of this first workspace and the 5 measurement positions, and also the second workspace because my selection window was a little bit bigger than my first workspace. So actually I could have done this. Everything what is partly within my selection window is selected. So now I can easily click on this workspace and delete it if I don't need it, because this is the outdoor workspace and there will not be a first and second floor on the outdoor workspace, most likely. The drawing is not copy and pasted, but all the items, that means the workspaces, the measurement positions, are copied. And now I can change the measured values. If I double click on the measurement positions, you see that automatically NoiseAtWork created new measurement positions. I can now change my measured sound pressure level. Let's say that higher it is lower for some reason. 81, 82, 81, 87 and 85. So this is a way of handling multiple floor levels. This is my ground floor and this is my first floor. Now, in combination with the view option, you can also make it easier to select a certain part of your project. Let's say that this is our main view. Then I'm going to add my main view, and this is, for instance, the ground floor. Then I'm going to zoom to the first floor and I'm going to create a new view saying first floor. Now I can use the 2 views I've just created to switch between the ground floor or the first floor. This simply makes going through your project easier. So I'm going back to the ground floor. Okay, thank you very much for your attention. Now how to make a print output. In this case I would recommend to use the print to clipboard option, because this creates a high resolution picture. Select the print to clipboard option, and here you can select to include or exclude the legend and preserve the aspect ratio, and that makes sense of course, but also you can increase the resolution. Let's say I want to have 2000 pixels wide, then automatically 1344 pixels height, because I've preserved the aspect ratio. Then I put it on the clipboard by saying OK, or save it as a JPG file. Let's put it on the clipboard. OK. Next I go to Word. and in Word I paste the picture. Ctrl V. Here you see the picture pasted, including the legend, and when you zoom in, you see that it is a high resolution picture. So this could be printed on an A2 or on an A1, so this is a high resolution picture. Okay. Well, thank you for your attention.